Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Julia Creations and I'm back with another video. Alright you guys, welcome in. I'm so excited today guys. We're going to be doing one of a new budget babes budget. She wanted to repost it on YT. We did it on live, so shout out to her for letting me do her budget. We're going to get straight into it guys. We're going to be doing a full bi-weekly budget, a debt payoff, and our calendar, a monthly budget, the full breakthrough. Also guys, if you're new here, welcome in. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can join the budget family. But I'm gonna jump straight into it you guys. It's getting a little bit late here, so I'm just gonna get this video on and rolling, so I'm not taking too long, but let's get into it you guys. The first thing we're gonna do is fill out our calendar. So we're starting with the month of July here. I know July is about to end, but I did this budget here for July, so we're gonna do July and a little bit of August, or end of June, do August, and then end of June, a little bit of July, and then into August you guys. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do you guys is fill out the calendar. So I'm gonna fill this in and come right back. Alright you guys, and just like that we filled out our calendar. So we have all our subscriptions, all our bills in here, all of our credit cards, our student loans, our subscriptions. I feel like I said subscriptions, but once again you want to make sure you're putting all of that in there you guys. All of this is important. So now we're going to go through and we are going to set up our monthly budget here, and our goal is to pay off debt. So now all we are going to do is write down our bills in here. Again, just copy all our bills over on this side, on the fixed side, and then our variables, we're going to go through and write down all our expenses that vary each month. So we're going to go ahead and write our paychecks in here. If you guys have multiple jobs, you'll just put job number 1, job number 2, job number 3. Since she only has one job and she's paid bi-weekly, we're just going to write bi-weekly checks here. But we're going to jump straight into this and then I'll be right back. So since we went and wrote down all of our bills and expenses, let's add everything up. So we got rent for $1,100, car payment for $333, renter's insurance for $13, student loans for $185, gym for $10, car insurance for $207, pet insurance for $42, and our phone bill for $70. That totals our fixed expenses, our main bills at $1960. Now let's go ahead and add up our variables. 423 plus 100 plus 127 plus 423 plus 100 plus 127 plus 64 plus 150 plus 200 plus 160 plus 250 will total us to about 1474. So we're going to take 1474 plus 1960. Our expenses roughly total to about 3434. So we do have a savings in here that we incorporated because we want to treat it as a bill for her. And then we're going to take 1905 times 2, which is going to give us basically an income of 3810. So we're going to go ahead and figure out what our cash surplus is, which is going to be the money left. This is going to be 3810 minus 3434. So 3810 minus 3434 is going to give us $376 left over as our cash surplus. So this is what we are going to contribute towards paying off our debt. Let's go ahead and break this down to a bi-weekly budget so we can see where we have that cash surplus. Alright you guys, so once we get to this week here, we wrote in our week of, which is going to be June 30th to July 7th, which is going to fall on the pay period. So I'm going to put paycheck here, paycheck of the 5th. So the paycheck of the 5th falls here. We're going to be bringing in 1905 this week. The next week we don't have a check coming in because we're paid bi-weekly, so 1905 here as well. So we're looking at this paycheck. So guys, the rent had to already be covered with her previous June check and the Apple and the HBO. So we're going to go ahead and just use a blue highlighter here, and these had to be covered with her previous check because we are looking at the check here that comes out on the 5th. So we're looking at this check here. So we're looking at the 5th all the way to the 19th because we don't get paid again until the 19th for our 2-week span. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight the rent as blue because we already paid this with our June check. Knock that out the way. And those subscriptions will just outdo itself here. So now our goal is to go in on our week of and see what bills we'll need to cover with the check that comes out on the 5th. So we know for sure that we have our car payment coming out on the 7th. So you can just go ahead and match your monthly with your calendar and do this as you go. So we have to cover our car payment with this check. And go ahead, we're going to look at our fixed bills first. So we have our car payment, which is going to be $333. All right, let's see what else we have here. We have our renter's insurance, which also comes out on the 7th here. I'll go ahead and write renter's insurance for $13. And you could use your calendar as well to help you. Renter's insurance, which is going to be $13. All right, sweet. So this savings, we're going to use that as our cash surplus, you guys, so I'm not going to add that as an expense. So we have our renter's insurance, and then we also have our Best Buy credit card coming out and our student loans. So let's go ahead and write that in. So we got Best Buy credit card, which is going to be a $31 minimum. All right, and then we also have the student loans that come out on the 8th, which is going to be $185. So we're just basically going in and writing all of this down, which paycheck gets each bill. So student loan, which is going to be $185. Then let's see what else we have that's going to come out. We have our gym membership, which comes out on the 17th, which is $10. Will also need to be covered with this here. So we got gym for $10. All right, and then let's go ahead and look at those other expenses. So for subscriptions, we have our Aura coming out, which is $6. So let's go ahead and add that up. We got $6 plus Paramount, which is going to be $6 as well, plus Peacock. We're just going to go ahead and add all our subscriptions up, and PayPal is going to have its own. So we spend about $18 on subscriptions from this paycheck. Subscriptions, we're going to put $18. All right, and then we have some credit cards that come out, and let's go ahead and add up this PayPal first. So we have one PayPal, which is going to be $22. We have another PayPal, which is going to be $18. We got PayPal, another PayPal, which is going to be $13 as well. Another PayPal for $22. All right, so those are all of our PayPals, which total us to $75. And I think this is like a affirm payment for PayPal, like a payback for PayPal. So PayPal, we're gonna go ahead and put $75. All right, sweet. What do we have left? We have our Chase credit card and our Care credit card. So we're gonna go ahead and put these in here as well. And it's so easy to color coordinate and use this. And of course, guys, all the products that we're using could be found at juliacreations.com. So if you want to get yourself a planner, go for it. This would be super easy to do your budget as well. And then we have Care credit, which totals us to $29 for our minimum. All right, now let's look at our variables here. So for groceries, we spend about $200 a month. Gas, we spend about $160, eating out $100, and household $50. So we're gonna break that down to bi-weekly. So that would be about $80 on gas bi-weekly, $100 on groceries bi-weekly, and our eating out $100. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. So we got gas, which is gonna be $80. Then we have groceries, which are gonna be $100. And then we also have eating out for $100. And remember, guys, this is supposed to last us for 2 weeks, because the next week we don't get paid again. And then household is $50 a month, so we're gonna break that down to 25, which is just, you know, like paper towels, tissue, the things you don't, you know, that sneak up on you. All right, you guys, so the next week we get paid again. We don't get paid, we get paid again on the 19th, and then we don't get paid again till the 31st of July. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna split our rent payment in half. So her rent totals to about $1,100. Right now she's paying her rent on one check, but we're gonna go ahead and split this just to make it even easier for her. So she doesn't get paid again until the 2nd of the month. Sorry, you guys, August 2nd will be payday again, right? So we're gonna go ahead and just split the rent. So we'll make one payment over here, another payment on the 19th, and our last check we won't have to worry about rent because we're already good. So we're just gonna split rent to get ahead. So rent, which is gonna be $550. So guys, this is for my budget babes or budget bros who want to get ahead. You don't have to always split your rent. In this case, we agreed to split it because we have a little bit of wiggle room here. So let's see what we have. So we have our car payment, which is $333, our renter's insurance for $13, our student loans for $185, our gym for $10, and our rent for $550. So that's going to total our fix to $1091. All right, $1091 for our fix here. And then our Best Buy credit card, we have $31, our subscriptions for $18, our PayPal for $75, our Chase for $175, our Care credit for $29, our gas for $80, our groceries for $100, our eat out for $100, and then our household items for $25, which is going to total our variables to $633. $633 plus $1091 is going to be $1724. So $1905 minus $1724. $1905 minus $1724 is going to give us $181 in our savings. And boom, just like that, we made it through the first week and we were able to put $181 in our savings based on this paycheck. So you see at the beginning of the month, we said we put in our savings automatically $100. I just never mind this because we're we're going to save more than that when we're doing our breakdown. So that's totally fine. We have that $100 plus 81 additional left over. So now when we get to the next week, you guys, we're going to go ahead and take our highlighter, and we're going to use yellow this time. And we're going to look at this payday that comes out on the 19th. So let's go ahead and highlight this. So now we are going to go ahead and look at all the bills that come out from the 19th all the way basically to the 2nd of the month, because we don't get paid again. So this is why we covered our rent with this check and split it. You guys will see it make more sense when we do our breakdown here. So we're going to go ahead and put the second portion of our rent. Remember, this week, you guys, we don't get paid. We already covered our expenses up to 2 weeks. So we're good to go here, good to go here. Now for our fix, we're going to go ahead and we're looking at the paycheck of the 19th. Let me put this here because I know sometimes it confuses you guys and I do the week of. So payday, which is going to be 7/19. Now we're going to go ahead and put the other half of the rent here, which would be $550. So we are prepared for the 1st of the month because we don't get paid again until the 2nd of the month. So now let's go look at our bills that come out around this time frame. So let's see. Where's my little highlighters again? We have the PayPal again, which is going to come out. So let's go ahead and add up all of our PayPals. All right, let's add this up. Get that out the way. So the first PayPal is $13. The second PayPal, 22nd. The other 22. Sorry guys, plus 18. So PayPal again is $75 this week. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in here. PayPal, which is going to be $75. All right. And then let's go ahead and write the rest of this stuff here. So I'm just going to go with the calendar as I go, you guys. So then we have Dave's Bridal, which is going to be $64. Or David's Bridal, maybe $64. Alright, the next one we have, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight this off my monthly budget so we don't forget about it. Alright, David's Bridal. And then let's go ahead and add up our subscriptions. We have Apple Music, which is $6, plus Kindle, which is $12, plus Hulu, which is $18, plus Disney for $46. So you spend about $82 on subscriptions. Just round up, it's about 83 after cents. So we'll go ahead and put subscriptions for 83. Alright, so we got subscriptions there. And then what else do we have? We have our Wells Fargo credit card, which is going to be $188. I'll go ahead and put Wells Fargo, $188. Credit cards are on the variable side because as we use those and pay those off, those will fall out of our bills. Then we have car insurance, which is going to be $207. I don't know why I have a 7 missing here. Wish it was $20. Car insurance, which is going to be $207. Alright. And then what else are we missing here? Pet insurance for $42. It's so easy to follow along using this template, you guys. It just makes it so easy. Budgeting is just 10 times easier to do when you have a planner that makes it easier for you guys. I'm telling you. Alright, pet insurance. And then we got our phone bill, which is going to be $70. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here. Everything is highlighted so we know we finished it. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Color coordinated makes it easy as well. And then this was the phone bill, right? Yeah, phone for $70. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and add our variables again that are bi-weekly. This little section is going to repeat itself again. So we're going to go ahead and put gas, which is going to be $80. Groceries for $100. And then we have eating out for $100. also have household. Oopsie, household for 25. Bam. So now we are going to go ahead and add this up. Alright, you guys, so let's go ahead and add up our fix first. 550 plus 207 plus 42 plus 70 is going to total to 869. Let's go ahead and add up our variables. 75 plus 64 plus subscriptions plus work from, not work from home, I was gonna say work from home, Wells Fargo. 80, 100 plus 100 plus 25. Yeah, I need to take my butt to bed. All right, our variables are going to be 715. 715 plus 869 is going to be 1584. All right, so now we're going to figure out how much money we have left over. 1905 minus 1584. 1905 minus 1584 is going to be 321. That's going to go in our savings from this week. Woot woot woot. So that's basically our July cash surplus. So we'll take that 181 and add it to this 321, because technically the next week we don't get paid again. So we'll just cover it for those 2 weeks, and then we're falling into August's pay period, which is going to give us 1905. This is why we covered the rent earlier as well, you guys. So that way when the first of the month came, because our next paycheck won't fall on, August 2nd. So we wanted to make sure we had all those bills covered before that paycheck again. So rent, now our Apple TV and our HBO will come out again with this check. But now we are all caught up here. So guys, basically our next week, July 29th to August 4th, is going to be a duplicate of this week. The only thing that's going to change is we're going to add this Apple and this HBO. So our subscriptions are going to be a little bit more this week compared to the previous week, because we have to cover these subscriptions that come in. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. Me just filling in this week is going to be basically a duplicate, and then we'll come right back. Alright you guys, and just like that I set up the first week of August. So this will be part of August's cash surplus, but as you can see, basically our budget is going to repeat. So when you're paid bi-weekly, it's literally every other week. So all of these bills are still going to fall on the same dates. So when we get to this next week of August, she's going to have a repeat of this week. Of course, as she's paying off the PayPal, those are going to fall off and no longer be a part of the budget as those things are being cut. So now let's go ahead and see what our cash surplus is. So we quoted our cash surplus to be $376 for the month. The first week we saved $181. The second week we saved $321. $321 plus $181 is going to be $502. So $502 is what we have left over to contribute towards paying off debt. So let's go ahead and set up our debt payoff list. So now what we're going to do is, you guys, we're going to create a debt payoff list. We're going to go ahead and write down all of our credit cards, our balances, our minimum payments on these, and we're going to go ahead and set up our list. So credit cards / debt payoff, and then we're going to take the 502, which is the money we have left over, and contribute this towards debt while building our savings. So let's get to it. Alright you guys, so according to our July budget, after we take care of bills and expenses, we'll have $502 left over. So what we have is our Care Credit, our Best Buy, our Wells Fargo, and we also have our Chase credit card. So what we're going to do is We are going to do the snowball method, pay off our smallest card to our biggest card regardless of interest, just based off the cash surplus we have left over. So the first card we are going to tackle is going to be our care credit. So we're going to pay off our care credit, which has a balance of $537. It would take us July and August to add our two cash surpluses together to go ahead and have enough to pay off the care credit. So we're going to take 1004 and we're going to minus it by 537. And keep in mind, guys, we're paying on all the minimums on all of our cards. We're just putting more towards one to pay it off quicker. So all those minimums are a part of our expenses. So 1004 minus 537 is going to be 467 in our savings. So she has two options she can do. She can put this full $500 towards the cash surplus every single month, or she can put the money together and save it for 2 months, still pay the minimum, but when she gets that money, put it strictly towards paying off the care credit. Boom. Once we pay off the care credit, we no longer have to pay this $29 minimum. So starting September, we're going to go ahead and add 502, which is our cash surplus, plus 29. Because that minimum's no longer a part of our expenses, it now becomes our cash surplus. So 531 is our new cash surplus. We don't have enough to pay off the Best Buy, so that's the one we're going to work on paying off next. So we can pull from our savings to pay off some debt quicker, you guys, but I don't want us pulling from the savings if we don't have to, just because emergencies happen. So let's just go ahead and combine our cash surplus for 2 months, September and October. We're going to go ahead and take 531 and we're going to times that by 2, which is going to give us 1062. 1062 minus 615 is going to be $447. That's going to go in our savings. So we're slowly but surely building our savings while tackling our debt. And once again, guys, by the time we get to the Best Buy, it could be smaller since we have been paying the minimum on it. We're just rounding up to cover any interest that accumulated in the process. All right, boom, boom, boom. And just like that, we've already paid off 2 cards. So once the Best Buy is paid off, we no longer have to pay the minimum on the Best Buy. So starting November, we're going to go ahead and take 531 and we're going to add $31 back into our cash surplus, which is going to give us $562 left over after bills and expenses. So at $562, we are going to work on paying off the Chase. So we want to pay off Chase, which has a balance roughly of $53.92. All right, so we want to build our savings and pay off debt. So we're going to put 400 of this towards debt, and we're going to put 162 in our savings. Boom. So we're going to prioritize paying off the Chase. If we take $53.92 and we divide it by $400, it will roughly take about 14 months to pay off here. So we're going to go ahead and set up our months. We're still going to be paying this $175 minimum, so we should technically pay it off quicker. We're just rounding up to cover interest. So we're going to go ahead and write this down, December. I'm going to go ahead and write down 14 months. I know my visual learners, it helps when you guys see it written out. So let's go ahead and do this. The time is going to go by regardless, so why not spend the time actually getting this debt paid off? So let's go ahead. Now my iPad wanting to die on us. All right. So it should be 14 months here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. We round it up. Is that 15 months or 14? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I don't know if I put an extra month there. All right, so we're going to take 400 times 14 months, which is going to give us 5,600. With 5,600, we're going to pay off 5,392, which is going to give us 208 to put in our savings. Boom. And on top of that 208, we were also putting 162 in our savings as well each month. So we're going to go ahead and take this 162 and we're going to times it by 14 months. And keep in mind, guys, we were paying a minimum of 175 on top of this 400, so it may not even take this long. We're just using that minimum as our interest barrier. So I'm going to put 2268 in our savings. Boom, and just like that, we're able to save us a nice 2,400, almost 2,500 around that time frame. And then we paid off the Chase credit card. So now starting, this will be January, we don't have to pay that $175 minimum. 175 plus 562 is going to be 737 left over after bills and expenses. So what did we do here? Basically, you guys, we set up a calendar so we can see what our paychecks are looking like, what bills can go to each check. Set this up color coordinated to make it easier for ourselves. Then we set up a monthly budget to see an overview. We want to see exactly what's coming in and what's going out each month and how much we're quoted that we're going to save. Then we broke this down to a paycheck so we can actually see how much we're going to be saving on our paycheck each month. And we did this for the span of June, July, and a little bit of August. We touched there. So this is how much we average each check. We're putting 321 around on our second check and 181 on our first check. So keep in mind, guys, as she's paying off those PayPals, that money will come back into her cash surplus, so we have more money to use towards paying off the debt. Then we set up a debt payoff list to pay off our debt, and we basically quoted how long it would take us to pay off each debt while building our savings. And this method, we use the snowball method instead of trying to pay off our higher interest credit cards. I like to do this just to get my clients started, you know, dipping their feet in and seeing where they can start and then work their way to the top. And just like that, our girl will officially be debt free after she pays off these cards. Thank you guys again for watching. I hope this video was helpful. And keep in mind, guys, I know you want to pay off your debt as quick as possible. Sometimes debt isn't an overnight process, it's an overtime. So don't be hard on yourself. You got to give yourself a little bit of grace when it comes to paying off your debt. So just like that, she's all set to go. If you would like to get your own personalized plan, if you do purchase the planner, you can come to the live during the evening times to get your budget done for free on my live. So make sure you guys are following me on TikTok. I only have one TikTok, which is Julia.creations, which has about 55,000 followers, and TikTok shop. So make sure you guys are following the right account. It will be linked below in the link in my bio, so you guys can follow there. Also, private sessions and consultations, so you can get this full roadmap done for yourself, can be booked at juliacreations.com, as well as planners and all that other good stuff. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.